Hey, Park, there was a meeting in Leinster House a couple of weeks ago between the organisations My Lovely Horse Rescue, Dog Advocacy Ireland, and Working Animal Guardians, or WAG, a meeting between them and a number of TDs, including yourself and senators. This might be a big question, Park, but can you give me a summary, please, of the work going on in Leinster House at the moment for animal welfare? And crucially, can you tell me if we can be in any way confident that there will be a big improvement in animal welfare policies and enforcement in Ireland over the coming few months?
So yeah, Darren. So look, essentially the meeting was about one idea that My Lovely Horse were essentially pitching, which was that they were advocating for the establishment of a unit within the Gardaí to I suppose observe and prosecute animal rights abuses, and to give that Garda unit, I suppose, necessary powers to ensure that they could do those jobs or those duties seriously. So that was the focus of the meeting, but obviously there was a wider discussion then about animal rights in general, and I suppose the abuses that each of the TDs and senators face in their own constituencies up and down the country. I think there's general recognition cross-party, whether you're government or opposition, that the current situation that we have, isn't ideal. And I say that, what I mean by that is, at the moment, if you have a horse or a dog in difficulty, you could, spend your time chasing the local authority, chasing the veterinary people working for the Department of Agriculture, but ultimately it seems to always fall on the charities to actually do the work, and I don't think that position is sustainable. I don't think it's fair either from the state's point of view, where we delegate powers to the local authorities and they're not enforced and not implemented. From talking to a lot of those local authorities, they would tell us that it's because they're not resourced. So fundamentally, in the short term, what we need to do is to ensure that there's a ramp up in funding going into this year's budget, both for charities and local authorities, to ensure that they can do the work that's necessary.
Yeah, that funding really is crucial, as you said. And just like as regards change of policies, I know you're going on your summer break now, all the TDs and senators for a few weeks. When you come back in September, are you anyway confident that that there'll be new legislation for animal welfare?
Well, my understanding is that the Minister for Agriculture is already doing a review of the Animal Welfare Act. Now, I can't predict what's going to be in that review, but what I've done myself as an individual, I brought forward legislation. I brought forward an equine, a bill in relation to equine, and basically what my bill proposes is that there will be an equine officer in each local authority, so that it would prohibit what I just described earlier, which was people being passed around from pillar to post in terms of, going between local authorities, Department of Agriculture, and then to the charities. So if there was a designated equine officer, I think that's one thing that could actually change things substantially and give that person again powers to go through the register to make sure that animals are chipped and so on. As regards to wider government commitments, other than that review, there's nothing else that I'm aware of. But I think it's incumbent on all of us, and that's why we had that cross-party meeting, because I think collectively, the majority of people that attended that meeting would recognise that we're just not doing enough. There's other things I'd like to focus on for the autumn when we return, and it's the whole area of dog breeding establishments. Possibly again, we're looking at further legislation to reduce the number of breeding bitches that will be allowed per person. And we're looking at other legislative interventions like that are targeted, that are definitive, and that can actually yield a result. But obviously, the success or failure of that legislation and that type of bill would be totally incumbent on the Minister of the day actually taking it up and supporting it.
A fork bhí cruinniú with Jock Lyon le Janie idir na Haggerty My Lovely Horse Rescue, Dog Advocacy Ireland agus Working Animals Guardians in éach leat agus neart teachtaí dálaí agus seanadóirí eile. An féideart acu thuirt suma fork faoin obair seo atá ar bun I Jock Lyon ar san anbha, agus an féideart a rálam an bhfuil muine na gut go méid fios mais de scéal ó thaobh policy ar son anbhathe na seachtaí nó mína atá amach rán.
Yeah, so have an cruinniú féin de Darren. hí thart ar trocha Shanadori agus teachtadála hágamar le chéile chun labhairt leis na grúpaí sin agus an fócas den cruinniú sin ná hí túram ag an grúpa My Lovely Horse mé eol ar I suppose Arnall nó Ryan speisialta a bhunú leistigh den gardaí síochána chun fócas nó béim a chur ar an míúsáid ana bhí agus sais commissionéir ana bhí nó garda sínsreach a chur a bhail ar an topic sin mar eol ar míúsáid ana bhí ó thaobh an ceist ó bhfuil manína gom go bhealsóid rudaí nuair a hágamar eis I mí dhearmh ar mí man for tá sé sin dechar le reagart faoi láthair Tais gom go bhfuil review de hais éigean arsúil ag an ara talmhaíochta faoi láthair ó thaobh míúsáid ana bhí ach ag an buinte seo caithfidh mé béim a chur ar an buséid atá ag teacht agus ó thaobh mé féin agus na buaile eile sa cruinniú sin be míad ag glór níos mó airgid le haig na carthanachtaí agsúla a choiríonn le hena bhí timpeall na tíre ó thaobh dlithe nua tá bille a gom féin ó thaobh equine officers a chur I réim ná ní lis a gom ag an buinte seo an bhfuil tacaíocht ag an tacaíocht ag an ara talmhaíochta a gom ach beag mé ag labhairt leis I gceann cúpla mí mé eolar sin ach tá an ceist sin ó thaobh an bhfuil manína gom go bhealsóid rudaí tá sé sin deiceáil a rá faoi láthair.
Bhí tú ginse dom faoi le bille an sin níos luúthe bille san roachtas is dead bille é de bhharchasúachtaí agus ó thaobh an buséid ag teach suas ní bheidh sé bháil ag teach suas agus tá ceist muoinú dó na hagirtaí ag obair san Arnall an na tábhachtán nach bhfuil?
Cínte ní thugam míad ach thart ar 6 milliún das na carthanachtaí sin ach chuna bheith me cánta déanann siad an cuid is mó den obair ó thaobh carú le hena bheithe so cáimid níos mó a thabhairt tá sé sin sa léir de chách ó thaobh breis cóachtaí nó dlithe nua a thabhairteach tá an tara Jim O'Callaghan taréis rálam go bhfuil sé sásta búla le My Lovely Horse I gceann cúpla seachtainna chun labhairt mé eol ar an smaoinemh a bhí com ó thaobh commissionéir ana bheithe nó garda sínsreach a thabhairteach so tá sé sásta búla lá so sin I suppose rud fiúntaach a tháinig amach as an grinú freisin.
Tá is gom ghfuil Ryan Steenie san Arnall I bhábhar údras umláin ar son anmhaithe a bhunú an mé tú I bhábhar nó oscailte do sin?
Cínte beag mé bhábhar and I suppose cosú leis an rud a bhí árá am hena féin like mar teachtadála nó mar onid puiblií like feimid lé go háin I gcónaí cúpla cín gach seachtain agus déanamh míad iarracht dul deag a bhá leis na tréad lia atá ag obair ar son an Ryan talmhaíochta déanamh míad iarracht labhairt ar son na gardaí ach beagnach gach uair an tain drám a bhfuil leiseachá ar an scéal ná na carthanachtaí so tá easpa freigracht leistigh den próséis faoi láthair so más féidir le haon údarás nua a bhunú chun carú leis an easpa freigracht sin ben sásta takeú leis.